Welcome to the coach trip. 7 couples and a 30-day tour in the Mediterranean sun. For some of them, it could be the holiday of a lifetime, taking in some amazing sights and cities.
It is our last great adventure.
Absolutely the best experience. Oh, God, yeah. It was wonderful.
But for others, it could be a complete nightmare.
If you don't want to tip out, just go. It's another activity that we put on for you, not to be messing about at.
This is no ordinary coach trip, because if you don't like the people you're travelling with, you can vote to send them home.
Grow up, Kerry. You're talking absolute rubbish. You really are.
So are you.
You're a pain in the neck. And everyone thinks you are, by the way.
There are currently 7 couples travelling on the coach. Husband and wife, Alan and Eileen.
Alan's my husband and I love him dearly. And David Beckham's a young dream, isn't it?
Good friends, Connie and Betty.
Brendan walked in this morning and he said, "Oh, I've got a surprise for you," he said. And he dangled 2 tea bags in front of us, English tea bags.
Yeah, one each.
We said, "Thank you very much."
Barbers, Lorenzo and Alan.
I'm not being funny, I've just learnt about how many Charles the whatever in Spain. I'm not bothered.
Partners, Heidi and Paul.
You try and be funny and
Right, it just
sometimes you are very funny. And
1 out
other
of 10, I
times,
think, is a hit and miss job.
Friends, John and Kerry.
We were actually on the coach, and there she was doing herself up, and I thought, balls to this. And I feel left out, so I'm sat there like this, doing my nails, and they come up absolutely fantastic.
Husband and wife, Irene and John.
Do we still love each other?
Yes,
do
darling,
we
we
look
do,
as if
yeah.
we still love each other?
We'll have an
Would we
argument,
be here
fall
together
out.
if we didn't?
Friends, Claire and Kat.
I think the conversations that everybody's had so far is, oh, what do you do? Where are you from? And it's all quite superficial.
Yeah, you can't
And there's
necessarily
gauge a level of intelligence from that kind of general chit-chat.
And working his fingers to the bone is Brendan, their tour guide.
Do you know, it's so difficult when you're going around Europe with 14 people to look after, you know. Hour and a half for Brendan. This is just Brendy's time.
On day 1, they visited Madrid, and yesterday saw them in Segovia, where they took a tour around an impressive fortress and sampled a less than impressive local dish.
Vile.
Then at voting time, Connie and Betty got a yellow card, and Heidi and Paul escaped getting a red. But now either of these couples could lead the tour on day 3 of the coach trip. It's 7:15 a.m. in Segovia. Today the trip heads west to Salamanca. It's a 3-hour journey, so the coach needs to leave early. So far on the trip, Brendan has had problems with passengers Alan and Lorenzo, who for 2 nights running have gone out drinking and overslept. But today, even they are up on time.
I spoke to him yesterday, and he told me he was going to order a pizza, and he was going to stay in, and he wasn't going to go out. And him and Lorenzo stuck to their word. And I couldn't believe it this morning when I walked in at breakfast. They looked as fresh as daisies, both of them.
The boys may be awake, but for the 3rd day in a row, Brendan has 2 passengers missing.
Okay, girls.
Young girls Kat and Claire spent last night partying and are nowhere to be seen. Brendan has to delay the coach, and he's not happy.
Were you out last night? Yeah, it's 7:30, and look.
Be like 2 minutes.
Yeah, more than 2. Hurry up, look at all this. Okay, 25 to it is.
All right.
We're going to Salamanca today, and it's a 3-hour journey, so we need to get off. It was the last thing we wanted was these 2 sleeping in. Oh, it's murder today. But you see, you know, it's like anything else. I warn them and I tell them. Do they take any notice? Oh, because they all think they know better.
It's already been a hectic morning, but the problems keep coming. Yesterday, the trip's oldest couple, Irene and John, had to stay behind because Irene was unwell. And sadly, they have more bad news for Brendan today.
Today, even though I feel a lot better than I did, I feel that I may be ill, and I don't want that to happen because it'll spoil it for everyone else. And it isn't fair, so we decided, we talked about it, and we decided that it would be better if we just left.
After only 2 days on the trip, Irene and John have decided to leave and will be replaced tomorrow. The coach finally leaves 45 minutes late with 2 empty seats.
Just an update, ladies and gentlemen, on John and Irene. They won't be joining us today. They've decided that they'd prefer to go home, so we've arranged some flights for them and it'll take them straight home.
I really like John and Irene. It would have been nice for them to stay a little bit longer, but...
Because they're the first couple from the original group, which is us, to leave, you know.
It's a shame that Irene and John have had to go home. I'm sure they're disappointed as well because they wanted to join in.
And they were good characters, very good characters, and very funny, and everybody seemed to get on with them and like them.
They do send their love. They're very, very upset that they couldn't actually continue. But I think Irene felt it was just too much for her. So that's why she's going home.
It's just over 100 miles to Salamanca, but the coach is already behind schedule, so it's the perfect opportunity for Brendan to remind the group about the importance of punctuality.
If we had left at 7:30 on time, and if I'd been a wicked witch, we would have lost Kat and Claire. You slept in this morning. Slapped legs later.
Than anyone else. We weren't the last ones down.
It doesn't matter, you slept in. You should have been up and away for 7:30.
We didn't actually hold the coach up. They all came out of breakfast after we were on the coach. Yeah. So we didn't actually delay anybody. We weren't being inconsiderate. We weren't late out of sheer, you know, sort of we don't care about anyone else. We'll work on our own timetable.
They should have been ready at 7:30 and they weren't. They slept in. And I gave them a real talking to and I've told them that, you know, if this happens again, then, you know, serious consequences will follow.
It's 11:30 and the coach has pulled over on the outskirts of Salamanca. This region of Spain is famous for Castilian pottery, and before they head into the city, Brendan wants to show the group a traditional pottery house.
Today we're bringing the passengers to a place called Alba de Tomes, and there's a lovely alfaria, which is a pottery belonging to Tomás Pérez, and we're going to actually bring them into his actual studio, show them how to make a plate, and hopefully have some sort of competition. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Alfaria de Tomás Pérez, who is a potter in the local town here. And Tomás is going to show us how to make some very typical Castilian pottery. Okay, over to you, Tomás.
Thank you.
The Alfaria Pottery House is a family-run business which has been passed down through several generations. Thomas still relies on his father's traditional methods to make Castilian pottery, using 2 different types of clay from the local area. Unfortunately, Paul's not interested in Thomas's methods. He'd prefer to joke around.
People's sense of humour work differently, so you leave it up in the air. Sometimes it's better if this person gets a joke rather than you put it out there and say, there it is, and smack it in people's faces.
But his idea of funny isn't to everyone's taste.
Paul, personally, I can find a little bit boring, but I wouldn't want to tell him that. I wouldn't want to hurt his feelings in any way, shape or form.
Okay.
Despite the distractions, Thomas finishes his demonstration and it's time for the competition to begin.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's your turn now to be a potter, just for a few minutes. But today, you don't have to do it with the partner that you're travelling with. So if you want to swap and change among friends or people that you've met on the coach that you'd like to do this exercise with, please feel free. If you just want to stay with the person you're travelling with, then that's fine as well.
With no previous pottery experience between them, anyone could win. The first unlikely pair of potters are John and Alan. But things don't start off well.
You need more speed.
You've done this before?
No, you obviously haven't. It was an absolute disaster, I think Alan was quite confident he was going to have a wonderful, wonderful time doing this plate. It was going to be a piece of cake. You know, the typical Alan comes in with a piece of cake and, you know, he thinks he knows it all and he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to anything. And it was an absolute bloody disaster, really.
I made the cake.
Right, I think that's...
No!
That's enough. You get to go flying off. I think a bit of a disaster, really, guys. Sorry about that.
And as the other passengers hit the wheel, it's clear the Castilian pottery industry has nothing to fear.
Oh, Kat!
Oh, Claire.
Oh, shut up. couldn't have done any better with a hangover.
I couldn't get it off the wheel. I tried it with the cheese cutter thing and ended up pulling it right the way through the plate.
Oh, good!
Crack now.
It's all right. Just come up through the middle of it. Right. Well,
Oh,
thank you. Half plate. And then just put it here. There you are. And don't forget to keep turning it, obviously.
Last but not least to Eileen and Alan. They've decided to stick together and things finally take a turn towards pottery perfection.
It's not doing a bad job, is he, Eileen?
No.
Very good. Have you had any experience before? No. No, that's good. You know, he was quite a natural. He obviously, you know, paid great attention to what the man was saying, even though we translated it. And he watched the, you know, the actual methodology of it all and saw how, you know, you would use your thumbs to ease the plate out. And he just watched and he was meticulous about it. I think he's probably got quite an artistic streak, you know, in him. That is absolutely fantastic, Alan. And you've never done it before? Fabuloso, eh? And then just you can put it there, that's absolutely brilliant. That is fabulous. Very good, excellent. Excelente, no? Bueno.
So with the pottery competition over, the group get back on the coach and it's time for Brendan to award the prize.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our results of our pottery lesson, and I shall do this in French like they do on the Eurovision. John and Alan, 0 points, or 0 points. Connie and Paul, 0 points. Betty and Heidi, 0 points. Kat and Claire, 2 points. Kerry and Lorenzo, 6 points. But, overwhelmingly, Eileen and Alan, 10 points. So they are the winners. And it wasn't ourselves, obviously, it was Senor Perez who said that this would be the prize. So I'll just show you all so that you know. And this is, funny enough, what exactly they wanted to buy.
No, you're joking.
So it's a plate.
I'm looking for a plate by, we've made the front of our house look Spanish. So we were very surprised that the prize was a plate, which I couldn't believe it was the one that I myself wanted to buy in the shop.
You're welcome.
Oh, look at that.
Coming up in part 2, the group arrive at the beautiful university city of Salamanca, and one of these couples could be heading home at voting time. Today the coach trip is heading to Salamanca. The passengers have already stopped off for a pottery lesson.
Not doing a bad job, is he, honey?
And are now back on the coach, just half an hour away from their destination. So Brendan feels it's the perfect time to go through some of the highlights of the city.
We're on our way now to Salamanca. Because of the sandstone, it's called the Golden City, or La Dorada. Dorada means golden. There are 2 cathedrals. There's an old cathedral and a new cathedral. It also has a stunning Plaza Mayor, and they say that the Plaza Mayor is the living room of Salamanca, simply because the people love to come out of their houses, sit in the square, shop in the archways, etc. There's also a lovely house which is made of concha shell. And as you go around, you'll see the facade of the actual sandstone. All the concha shells have been carved out of the sandstone. So we shall leave you in peace to relax and enjoy the ride. We're not going to be far from Salamanca. And if there's anything you need, just let me know.
It's 3 p.m. and the tourists have arrived in Salamanca. And after a relaxing stroll through the Plaza Anea, they arrive just outside Salamanca's new cathedral, which will be the beautiful backdrop to a special activity which Brendan has arranged.
we've organised a Spanish lesson for our group, and there's a lady called Pilar who's going to be their teacher, and she has a very expressive way of teaching Spanish, so I think it'll be a lot of fun for them actually.
Pilar has been teaching Spanish in Salamanca for over 20 years. However, her methods are slightly different from the average language teacher. The group soon discover this when she produces her first teaching aid, a small bouncy ball.
¿Inglesa? ¿Eres inglesa?
Sí,
Sí.
inglés.
Muy bien. ¿Eres irlandés? ¿Eres profesora de español? ¿Cuántos años?
It's clear from the passengers' faces this wasn't the Spanish lesson they were expecting.
¿De dónde eres?
I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
¿Eres de Inglaterra?
Inglaterra.
It's a bit of a fast track to Spanish, if you like that sort of thing, because she hardly spoke a word of English.
Tengo 30 años.
Muy bien, 30 años, perfecto.
She's off her head. But she was funny, she was all right. But what I didn't understand about that Spanish lesson was she didn't translate it back to us in English. Can she speak English?
No.
Connie?
Connie, on the other hand, is less concerned about understanding Pilar and more worried about being hit by her ball.
When she got to me to throw the ball, I think I was scared. I really was.
Connie, no soy un monstruo. No soy un monstruo.
Monster, she's not going to frighten you.
Doing monster. I'm not a monster. It was so funny.
I thought Connie came into her own, you know, she was so comical with the language, and she was a bit nervous of Pilar, and that sort of showed through, you know, but the laughter was there, and it was all good fun.
Gracias.
Gracias.
De nada.
You're welcome.
Having decided the group have learned enough using the bouncy ball, it's time for lesson 2. The passengers are hoping this might be more straightforward, but Pilar disappoints them by pulling out a furry hammer.
Solo.
She was quite crazy, that woman.
Yeah, like a female Timmy Mallet, isn't it?
Tengo 25 años.
I like the hammer and the ball, made it a lot more interesting. I think if they did that at school, I would have learned a lot more. And if the teacher was as mad as that, it would have been great fun.
Apuntado a ellos en inglés.
I thought they all enjoyed it, but I thought Pilar made it, you know, she made it interesting and she made it comical and funny as well.
With the Spanish lesson over, the group wave goodbye to their teacher. But will the fun and games continue as it's time for today's vote? On this coach trip, passengers get to vote for who they don't like travelling with. Whoever gets the most votes is awarded a yellow card. If a couple get another yellow card on the trip, it becomes red and they are sent home and replaced by a new pair. Brendan gathers the group together to hear the result.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are outside Salamanca's oldest university, and it's time for another vote. The couple who gets the most votes this evening will get a yellow card. May I remind the group that Paul and Heidi and Betty and Connie already have a yellow card, so if they get another yellow card this evening, that will mean it's going to be a red card and they will have to leave the group. Once again, we need to know who you're voting for and your reasons why. Thank you.
Paul and Heidi are the first to vote.
Tonight it's with regret that we vote for Kerry and John.
We found them very quiet today, or quieter than their usual selves. We think it's due to last night and hardly much sleep at all, but we can't find anything wrong with anybody else, to be honest.
Fair enough.
That's fine.
Cool.
Okay.
Next to vote are Betty and Connie, who seem to have spotted something which has gone unnoticed by the rest of the group.
Tonight we are voting for Alan and Lorenzo.
And the reason being, this morning after breakfast he went up and filled a carrier bag full of food to eat during the day.
In the breakfast room this morning, Alan took
boiled eggs,
cakes,
bananas. We think it's bad because they never asked anybody if they could have it. They just went up and took it. Sorry.
No, that's cool.
Surprised.
Tonight we have voted for Kat and Claire, and our reason is at this stage of the day we don't feel they've prioritised the importance of the trip. They really spend their time going out at night, early mornings, and I think they're spending too much time being tired.
No problem. Okay.
Tonight we are also very sorry, but we're voting for Paul and Heidi. It really irritates me that he doesn't make eye contact with you, Paul. Doesn't make eye contact with you when he talks to you. And I think, well, how am I supposed to engage with you and actually hold a proper conversation with you when you're doing this the whole time?
We were on that.
What are you looking at?
We're sorry.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, we were going to vote for, Connie and Betty, but then Connie said she's got a daughter that looks like Jordan. So it's going to be Paul and Heidi. We do get on with them, but not as well as everybody else.
We wouldn't be voting for Paul and Heidi if we didn't want them to go home tonight. We know they've got a yellow card. We voted for them on the first day, so...
Everyone we pick gets a yellow card.
Tonight we are voting for Paul and Heidi, and the reason for that was that we have bonded extremely well with everybody else within the group, more so than Heidi and Paul.
It's only 2 days, but yeah.
It's fine. Thank you.
Ta-da, folks. Looks like... Bring it on, Brendan. Bring it on. Bring on the red.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the result of this evening's vote is that with 3 votes, Heidi and Paul get the yellow card, which you've already got a yellow card. That becomes a red card, and it's the first for this time. Thank you. Thank you. OK, and we'd like to go to the coach, and we'll get your luggage. OK, thank you.
So with 3 votes, Paul and Heidi get a second yellow card and must now leave the trip. Heidi is keen to say goodbye to her fellow passengers, but Paul isn't.
Come on, Heidi. Waste your time.
You're all right, don't worry.
I understand he's a bit annoyed,
That was
but
a pity.
he should have... I don't know, I think he could have handled it better. Even if he'd walked off and not said anything. But the fact that Heidi came over and he said, oh, don't waste your time, Heidi.
They're all saying the same thing, and they haven't even got the ideas to actually come up with something a bit more original. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think we've been over the top. We've been trying our hardest, but obviously wasn't good enough. We haven't clicked with the youngsters no matter how hard we tried, so we give it our best shot. We've never been to Portugal, and we're looking forward to just getting one day out there and doing that. But I suppose we'll have to say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Paul and Heidi managed to see Madrid, Segovia and finally Salamanca. But their journey is now over, and a new couple will take their place on the coach. Next time on Coach Trip, the tour leaves Spain and heads into Portugal, where the passengers hit the spa town of Monfortino.
You just want to relax, shut your eyes and go to sleep.